The distress beacon echoed across 17 star systems, its desperate plea crackling through subspace with the urgency of a dying civilization. The Cathari Council had exhausted every diplomatic channel, every trade agreement, every favor owed across the galactic community. Their homeworld of Serenity Prime was under siege by the Vorthak swarm, biomechanical horrors that consumed entire planets like metallic locusts. Please, the transmission repeated in a dozen languages. Any civilization capable of military assistance, we offer everything we have. Our children are dying. Ambassador Liza Chen sat in the cramped bridge of the human vessel Defiant Spirit, her dark eyes scanning the tactical displays with professional detachment. Beside her, Captain James Morrison adjusted the ship's heading toward the Cathari system, his weathered hand steady on the controls despite the gravity of their mission. Command thinks we're insane, James muttered, checking their weapon systems for the 100th time. 17 other species got that same distress call. None of them responded. Liza nodded grimly. She'd read the intelligence reports. The Zephyrians claimed their fleet was undergoing maintenance. The Crystalline Collective cited philosophical objections to warfare. The mighty Andromedans simply stated that the Vorthak threat was beyond acceptable risk parameters. They're not wrong to be afraid, Liza replied, watching the swirling chaos of hyperspace outside their viewport. Our own xenobiologists estimate the swarm has consumed 43 worlds in the past 2 years. Nothing stops them. Nothing has stopped them, James corrected with a predatory smile. But nobody's sent humans yet. The Defiant Spirit dropped out of hyperspace at the edge of the Cathari system, and both humans fell silent. Where intelligence reports had shown a peaceful collection of garden worlds, they now witnessed an apocalypse in progress. 3 planets, burned with the sickly green fire of Vorthak bioweapons, their atmospheres churning with toxic clouds. The 4th world, Serenity Prime itself, was partially shrouded in the writhing black mass of the swarm. Sweet merciful hell, James whispered. There must be millions of them. Their communications array crackled to life. The voice that emerged was melodious despite its desperation. The Cathari were a species known for their musical speech patterns and pacifist philosophy. Unknown vessel, please identify yourself. We were not expecting anyone to answer our call. Liza activated the transmitter. This is Ambassador Liza Chen of the Terran Federation, aboard the vessel Defiant Spirit. We received your distress. Beacon. A long pause, then, Terrans? But your species is classified as Category 9 Deathworlders. Surely you cannot have come to help us. James snorted. Lady, we came because we're Category 9 Deathworlders. The Cathari ambassador's confusion was audible. Forgive me, but I do not understand. Your homeworld is documented as a realm of constant warfare, natural disasters, and predatory evolution. Your species evolved from persistence hunters. How does this qualify you to fight a threat that has defeated the galaxy's most advanced civilizations? Liza and James exchanged glances. It was a fair question. Every other species in the galaxy had evolved on worlds where cooperation was paramount for survival. Gentle garden worlds with stable climates, abundant resources, and minimal natural threats. They viewed human Earth as a nightmare realm where only the most violent and adaptable species could possibly survive. They weren't entirely wrong. Ambassador, Liza said carefully, what do you know about human military doctrine? Very little. Your species is concerning to most galactic citizens. We were told you wage war against each other even when not threatened by external forces. That's true, James admitted, bringing up tactical scans of the swarm formation. We've been fighting each other for 10,000 years, fighting everything really, weather, predators, disease, scarcity. But you know what that's taught us? The swarm had noticed their arrival. Thousands of biomechanical creatures were peeling away from Serenity Prime's surface, forming hunting packs that moved with terrifying coordination. Each creature was the size of a fighter craft, bristling with organic weapons that could punch through conventional starship armor. What has it taught you? The Cathari asked, genuine curiosity overriding their terror. It taught us that everything can be killed, Liza said simply. And more importantly, it taught us how to kill things that are bigger, stronger, and better armed than we are. James was already implementing attack patterns that would have horrified any civilized species. Instead of the conventional tactics of maintaining distance and trading long-range fire, the standard approach of every other galactic military, he was accelerating directly toward the swarm. The Zephyrians tried to fight them in formation, he explained, almost conversationally, as the first wave of Vorthak creatures opened fire. The Andromedans used their superior technology to maintain tactical advantage. Everyone fought smart, clean, efficient battles. The defiant spirit shuddered, under enemy fire, but James didn't deviate from his collision course. At the last possible moment, he triggered the ship's experimental close-range weapons, arrays of kinetic harpoons and plasma charges designed for the brutal close-quarters combat that humans excelled at. The problem, Liza continued monitoring the ship's systems as they carved through the swarm formation, is that the Vorthak aren't fighting a clean, efficient war. They're fighting like the universe is trying to kill them, just like humans do. The next several hours were unlike anything the Cathari had ever witnessed. The human ship didn't retreat when outnumbered. It used the numbers against the enemy, turning their own coordination into a vulnerability. It didn't maintain safe distances. It closed to ranges where human reflexes and adaptability gave them advantages over biomechanical precision. Most shocking of all, when the defiant spirit finally took critical damage, James didn't attempt to withdraw for repairs. Instead, he rammed the ship directly into the swarm's primary coordination node, a massive bioship that had been directing the assault on Serenity Prime. Both humans ejected in emergency pods just before impact. The explosion took out nearly a quarter of the swarm's local forces and left the rest in chaotic disarray. "Defiant spirit to Cathari Command," Liza's voice crackled from her pod's emergency transmitter. "Primary target neutralized. The swarm's lost coordination. Now would be an excellent time for your evacuation fleets to move in." But your ship." "Ships can be replaced," James interrupted from his own pod, already calculating vectors for recovery. "People can't. Besides, we sent targeting data to the Terran Second Fleet before we engaged. They'll be here within the week with enough firepower to finish what we started." As Cathari rescue ships moved in to collect the human pods, their ambassador managed one final question. "Why? Why would your species risk everything for people you've never met?" Liza smiled tiredly as her pod was drawn into the rescue vessel's bay. "Because that's what Deathworlders do. We survive by making sure nothing else gets to be the apex predator, even if that means becoming the galaxy's monsters to fight the galaxy's nightmares." The Vorthak swarm, for the first time in its existence, experienced something that no other species had been able to teach it: fear. Because they had finally encountered something more relentless, more adaptable, and more willing to pay the ultimate price than they were. Humanity's Deathworlders had come to the galaxy's aid, and the galaxy would never be the same.